Praise the Lord, lovely people of God. This is another Wednesday evening, and we come your way. My name is Deborah Tisekwashi, and I'm your host for this wonderful evening. The past few weeks, we've been discussing relationships. Um, for the first 2 weeks, it was from the woman's perspective. Last week, our father was here with us, so he took us through, and we saw things the way men think. And I believe all those who have been following us for the past 3 weeks, we've learned quite a lot. And last week was quite a refreshing time. I enjoyed myself, and I believe you did too. So this week, we've come your way again, and we are come to talk about, to me, it's quite delicate, relationships and then money. I'm sure you are smiling by now. Someone is saying, yes, we have to talk about it. I know, it's very important. A lot of times people say he doesn't provide. When we're dating, he was giving me money. Now we are married, he's not giving me money. Or some people say, even as we are dating now, I don't see anything. So how is it that he will be able to provide for me? This whole issue about relationships and marriage causes a lot of arguments and disparities amongst people. So this evening, we hope that by the end of this discussion, we would be enlightened as people of God, as people walking in the light of God, as to how to deal with financial situations in our relationships. And this evening, too, we have our pastor in our midst. He's in the person of Pastor Emmanuel Tete, the resident pastor of the Apostolic Church, Asalam Down, Mount Zion Assembly, in the Adabraka district. Pastor, you are welcome back once again.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Pastor, as I said, this evening, our discussion will mostly be based on money.
Okay.
We know they say the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
And as much as we are human beings, as much as we live, money is something we cannot do away with. So we would like to talk about it in terms of our relationships, how we let money influence our relationships. Should we discuss our financial goals? In the sense that you have, some people get married and they say, I didn't know he didn't have this much money. I didn't know he didn't own, the car was not for him. I didn't know he owed so much. I didn't know he was a spendthrift. I didn't know she likes to borrow. I didn't know she does this. I didn't know he does that. And at the end of the day, it's like, didn't they discuss those issues before getting married? So financial goals, is this something we should talk about?
Yeah, thank you very much. And let me also say hello to the viewers. It's a great privilege to be coming your way once again. Discussing finances, financial goals. I think money is quite important part of our lives. And so in any relationship, money comes in. It is not the ultimate determinant or factor, but money is important. And I believe that at a certain point, issues about money should come into play. Remember, the last time we spoke, we saw the need for us to measure the issues we discuss in the relationship. You don't start off
by talking about
money. Start off knowing each other, measure the person's ability to deal with issues of interest. So by the time you zero in on discussing money, you know the person fairly well in relation to money. Yes, so at all costs or by all means, money will have to be discussed. The issue will be when will be the right time to discuss money. Let me establish these grounds. That your money is part of your life. Okay? Your money
is part of your life.
Is part of your life. So don't joke
with your money.
Your money is part of your life. People don't realize it. But we'll talk about it some more as we go on. Yes, so I'll say that you have to talk about money. The issue will be when should we talk about money.
So would it be okay to say you should be curious a bit as to how people or your partner affords certain things in a relationship? In the sense that if you take, say, a gentleman who works in a bank, he's a teller at a bank, but then you see certain financial commitments and they are quite high.
Yeah.
Is it okay to ask questions? Because if you're a teller, I'm not expecting you to be driving a Range Rover.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's important to be observant and to be curious. Don't close your eyes in the relationship. Open your eyes. Now, that is the mistake people do when they say they are falling in love. They become blinded.
Love is blind.
That's what they say. Love is blind. But it will be blind until you marry.
Then
Then your eyes will be open. That is when you realize, oh, it wasn't what I thought.
I thought it was.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be the case. When you are in a relationship, like I heard somebody say, when you are entering, keep your heart behind you.
Okay.
And enter with your head.
With your head.
Keep your heart
behind
you. Don't enter into the relationship with your heart.
But Pastor, if you do that, are you not calculating?
You should calculate. You should calculate. You see, the wisdom in that statement is that when you enter the relationship from the onset with your heart, that is when you say that you were blind because of love.
So you're unable to make certain decisions.
You didn't see certain things which were very obvious. Because your heart went ahead of your head and you were blinded. What was so obvious, you didn't see.
You were unable to see.
What was very clear was hidden to you. And so you were blinded by the love. But keep your heart behind you and let your head go ahead of you. Be curious. You see the lady, she is working maybe as a receptionist or as
a personal assistant.
An assistant or something. And the lifestyle is way up there. Please, in a nice way, ask questions. Don't be, if you like, arrogant about the question.
As if you're accusing the person.
Or in an accusing manner. Hey, now sales girl now, we'll take her away. No. But be curious to ask, to find out.
How
you drive a car.
How are you able to
I'm
afford?
very impressed. How did you afford this? Find out what's happening. And as you are asking, you'll be giving some answers. But at that age, you are an adult. Reason into the answers. Don't be told something and take
things
in,
at face value.
On face value. Reason. Go into it. Like you said, the gentleman is a teller. And yet, the car he's driving in, you are asking, hey, how did he get that money?
How did he get that money to afford that?
Find ways of getting to know his sources. Point is, if the person starts being dodgy with answers,
that's a
then
red flag.
Your antennas should be going up.
That's a red flag.
Your antennas should be going up that there is something fishy, which I'm not being told.
Yes.
Okay? So it's very important that you find out, you ask questions, but be very sensible and very sensitive about the way you ask the questions.
Okay, so Pastor, there are certain people who do not have the habit of saving.
Okay.
Should I say their financial attitude, the way they handle money is different.
Yeah.
Someone likes to save. Another person sees it like money, you have to spend money so that you get more.
Yeah.
They tell you that when this can be from. So some people don't have good saving attitudes. Yeah. Would it be okay to say because I don't like how he handles money, I'm walking out of the relationship because at the end of the day, if I get married to him or I get married to her, it won't help me. Is money enough basis to walk out of a relationship?
Well, in a certain way, but in terms of the question, I wouldn't say so. People are different. Some are very thrifty with their money, and some are very generous with their money. Some do it based on a certain faith they have. some giving the background they are coming from. So there are various factors that influence the way we manage our money. Myself, if I use myself as an example, I'm not very good at all with saving money.
Oh, okay.
I'm not good at all with saving money. But by dint of grace, maybe given where I come from with spending the money, I also don't run out of money.
Out of money.
Okay. Now, I don't waste my money. I don't waste it. I don't spend, I don't use it anyhow, wastefully. But I spend it in a very useful way, in a very beneficial manner. Okay? Except that I'm not good with saving it and accumulating it over time. I spend it wisely as it comes, but I don't run out of it also. Now, very interestingly, my wife is on the opposite side of the ruler. Okay? She is very good at saving money. And every now and again, she comes in to bail me out. When, God has a way of partnering and complimenting you. Every now and again, she comes in to bail me out. But let me also mention that in terms of what I spend, most of it I also spend on her and the family anyway. Okay, so it shouldn't be a matter of whether the person saves or not being the reason to label the person. But I think the important thing is, if the person is spending, what is he or she spending on?
Okay.
Yeah. What is the money going into? There are people who immediately they get money, they can't sit at home.
They'll have to go out and spend it.
Then, it's time to, let's go here. Let's go and sit here. Oh, it's a long time you went here. Oh, I need to buy this. And I don't have this. And the things he or she has already, immediately he gets the money.
He no longer likes
he doesn't have them, or they are no good. He has to get others.
New ones.
Okay, so it is not the issue of whether you save. And there are those who save it to the death of others. Yeah. They are saving it even in the family.
When there's a need.
When there is a need.
They still tell you they are saving
it. They won't tell you they have money. And the family is in dire straits financially. And because they are very, very thrifty with savings, they are saving the money, they block their minds to it.
Whatever happens, we'll manage.
They don't care. When that also happens, it is not very helpful. And so when you are in a relationship, you need to be aware where the money goes. If the money is being saved and it is brought out at the time of need.
When it's needed.
Yes, praise God. If the money is being spent and it is being spent on useful
things,
beneficial things into the future and for life, it is beneficial. So that is how I'll look at it more.
Okay. All right, Pastor, is it okay for a lady to expect a man to take care of her financial needs while in a relationship? Or let me phrase it. Does a man have to take financial responsibilities for a woman?
You always put that on us anyway.
Is it carved in stone that a man is supposed to take care of the financial needs of the woman he is in a relationship with?
Yes. Fundamentally, yes. Okay? The man is expected to provide financially and in every other way for the lady and the entire family. And I take that from Genesis. Genesis chapter 2, right from verse 15. When God created Adam, the Bible says he placed him in the garden and his mandate was to work and keep the garden. To work and keep the garden. In fact, when Eve was created, there was nothing said about her working. Her role was to help the man. So the man is the one who is to provide. In fact, if you look on after the fall, after the serpent deceived them and they've eaten the fruit that they were asked not to, in Genesis chapter 3, right from verse 17, when God was pronouncing his punishment on the man.
On the man.
On the woman, it was that she
childbirth.
will have child pains, labor pains,
Pains.
in childbearing and delivery. And that her man will
Rule over her.
over her. But when it came to the man,
He said you will toil.
the Bible says he will toil to provide. He will toil to have bread. And so the provision, including financial, for the family, rests on the man primarily. Now, I think we have brought our women more and more into the economic space because over time, part of their role of helping is what has pulled them into the economic space. It doesn't mean that they not being there means they were dumb. No. But their brains and their minds were being used in other ways. But now, because of economic difficulties and where the world has got into, we need to tap more into the mental brains or acumen of the women to also earn financially to support the man.
So it's all in line with helping the man.
Their financial support is part of their helper role, but the responsibility is still on the man. The responsibility is on the man.
So, Pastor, when you were talking more of in the family. The family, there's a case where we are not yet a family. We are not yet married. We are dating. Or we are courting.
Yeah.
So at that point, we've not yet started a family.
Oh, but God speaks about the beginning from the end. Or if you like, when he's beginning, he's already looking at the end.
Okay.
So for me, the relationship is not a try and error thing. The courting and dating, as you are describing it. For me, it shouldn't be a try and error. If the man proposes, you should know the man before you agree. Don't agree
before you know the man.
Before you want to now check whether I want to go along with him. Take time with his proposal and be friends. Be courting, be friends, or be dating. I'm quite advanced. I don't know the difference.
On that note, some people will tell you that what do you want to know? If you agree to it, as time goes on, you get to know me.
Except that, you can't know it all. You can't know it all before you marry. But you should have a fair idea who I want to throw my towel in with, okay? Who I want to go the rest of my life with. You should have a fair idea about his beliefs, okay, his principles, what drives his life, what are the major ways by which he makes decisions. So you can't know the person fully before you agree. But you should have a very good sense of what the foundations of his principles and his beliefs, what drives his character and his decisions.
You should know what you are getting yourself into.
You should know fairly well. So though you are not married, you should have a sense that this man, if you are a woman, this man I'm marrying, is he somebody who want to share his salary with me? Is he somebody who will be open with his finances? Is he somebody who is just going to put his money behind him and demand for mine? What kind of man is he financially? You should have a fair sense of it, yes. For a man, you should know the woman that you are proposing to.
Whether she's going to help you.
Is she coming to help with her money, or she's going to put her money in the bank and say that she doesn't have money at all?
Her money is her money. Your money is
our money.
Our money.
Yes, they always tell us that. That her money is her money, but your money is our money. Yes, they always say that. But that is not right. If you get in there, it should be us together. It is not mine and yours is ours. No, it is us together. And so have a fair sense what his financial principles are. What drives his financial decisions. What informs what he does with his money. then you know you are getting into a good place. You will not know it all.
Oh, but as time goes on,
yes,
but you should have
you
a
should
fair.
be on some fair good
So it would be
grounds.
right to say you look before you leap.
Look before you leap. It's a good point to say that. Look
Before you leap.
Don't just jump when you don't know the depth of where you are going to land. Yeah, or whether you can jump across.
Cross or not.
Or not. Look before you
If
leap.
you've been watching us, this is the Apostolic Church Mount Zion Assembly, and this is our Wednesday teaching service. And for this session, we are discussing finances and relationship. And so far, Pastor has said a lot. He said, put your heart behind you and go in with your head. Look before you leap. Don't just jump in. Don't be blinded by love and say that I was blind. I didn't know. If I had known. If you had known what? You have time to consider all these things before you jump into it. Pastor, is it in these modern days where a woman is working, a man is also working? Is it right? What if the woman earns more than the man?
Oh, yes. You have a lot of that happening. You have a lot of that
In
happening.
that case, who is going to... It doesn't mean the roles have changed.
No, it hasn't.
Because at the end of the day, the woman is earning way more than the man.
Yeah.
I
You don't get it. Okay, let me explain. That is, if first let's look at it from the courtship dating time. If the woman is earning more than the man, and that can easily happen in today's world. You see, you'll be very archaic, outmoded, chauvinist if you think you must necessarily always earn more than your wife or the woman, because you can't determine that. Now, for a man, the woman is there as a helper. If at the time you were not married, she was earning more than you, the important thing for a woman you want to pay attention to is that what does he do with his life? Okay? Somebody can be doing something very meaningful for society, but his focus is not on the money. He's not doing it for money. There are those who do things for charity, and yet they are doing something very meaningful for mankind, yes, and for godliness. Now, if it so happens that somebody is involved in that, and the lady is a CEO or somebody in business, I mean, I'm talking profit-making business, and because of what she's involved in, she's making more money
than the man.
It doesn't make the man a lazy person. It doesn't make the man a useless person. Question is, what does the man spend his life on? What is he doing with his life? Is he doing something that is beneficial for society? If he's also working hard in business or in industry, as in office, and yet is at a very high level, executive level, and is also earning some money, albeit his money is not as much as the woman who is either in business or also in an executive position but is paid more, then the question you want to ask as a woman first is that, am I ready to support
this man
as my husband if we marry, so that together we will achieve the vision God has given him? Am I willing to do that? Or because I am earning more than him, I don't think I want to marry such a man. Now, if you are a woman and you think this way, then you are entering into the marriage with a selfish
perception, ideas,
mindset and ideas, okay? You are going there just for you, just for what you will get.
You will get.
Yeah. Not for the bigger vision of the man, not for the bigger good of the family together.
That you hope to build.
That you are going to build. So if you are a woman and you happen to be earning more than your man, look at the reasons informing your decision not to go with the man. If he is a hardworking, diligent, faithful person, okay, who is not wasteful with his money, who is not a lazy person who has a vision, and drive to do something for mankind and for God. Maybe God is bringing you there
to help him
to
achieve
support, yes,
that
to help
vision.
achieve a God-given mandate. But I'm saying that with emphasis on a man who is not lazy. With emphasis on a man who is diligent
in what he's doing.
A man with vision. A man who is very industrious, who is very useful with his life and time. Because you have some men who, once they know that this woman is in business
and is making more money,
she's earning more money, she's an executive, in his laziness, he wants to have this woman so that he will spend
and he can relax
her money and he will relax. That is a lazy man. Don't go in with such a man. That is, a man who is going to create problems for you. Don't go in for such a man. Please, don't. Don't go in for a lazy man. Sometimes the women are deceived with the kind words, with the way Obed the fed the fellow, the words, the raps, and he has time for you, and yet he's sleeping in the house. No. If you are in my church and you are my daughter, you don't marry such a man.
Yes, Daddy.
You don't marry such a man. No.
So, Pastor, in that case, will it be okay for the woman to take up the financial responsibilities?
No, she doesn't take up the financial responsibilities. Now, it goes back to the beginning, Genesis. Genesis chapter 2, we spoke about it. That God said in verse 18 that let's make a helper. God didn't even say a woman.
He said a helper.
God described the function of the second human being that he was creating. He described that second human being as a helper. It is Adam who described her as a woman. Okay? God said she's a helper. Now, if you are any more than the man, point is you are coming in as a helper. So your money, what you are earning, is actually, see it as money that is coming to help.
And not to do the main thing.
No. You don't have your own vision. Now, if the two of you are captains in that same ship,
it will sink.
The ship will sink. It will go nowhere. Amos 3, verse 3 says, can two work together except they agree? Okay? So if you are not agreed, who is leading, and both of you want to lead, then tomorrow when the woman says, let's go left, the man says, no, we are going right. The woman says, then go your right, let me go my left.
I have the money.
I have my money. I can do it without you. So now that marriage is starting on the foundation of failure. By the time it's starting, it has already failed. So I'll appeal to all such women. Please, if it happens that God has blessed you with resources and you are into a relationship, not yet married, pay attention. Open your eyes to the kind of man
you are with.
You are going out with. Know the nature of the man. In the morning, is he sleeping? You wake up whilst he's still in bed. And by the time you come, he is quick to go to bed to sleep. And you ask what he has done today, and he doesn't do anything meaningful. Please don't continue with such a man. He will give you problems. But if he's a diligent man, he uses his mind usefully, in a very beneficial way to society. And I say that knowing that some people are not so money-minded.
Yes.
Okay? And you buy into his vision. Please make sure you come in there to help achieve his God-given vision. Okay? And in that sense, your money is not so much your money.
Your money is our
He's
money.
Still the leader, the captain of that ship. He's still the leader. And so the money you are earning, please bring it along to support the vision.
At the end of the day, you should still bear in mind that you are there to support.
To help. If you don't see what you are going to help with, don't go.
Don't go.
Because you are there as a helper.
As a helper.
What is he going to carry?
For you to help him.
that you are going to help him. Nipa no ono te ho. Akwadro. He's not carrying anything.
Anything that you would help him with.
Etele loko echu loko. Enye doko ke hanu chumo. He's not willing to drive himself. What are you going to help him with? He's going to lazy around and depend on your money. And tomorrow he's going to blame you
That's you are
for
the
his
reason,
woes.
you are the reason why he didn't get to where
one
he was.
year, you know,
no,
avoid that.
No, man, share us.
Avoid that.
So then, Pastor, that means it's right to say that when you meet someone whose financial attitude is different from yours, in the sense that he's not willing to make more money. He's lazy. You are going to make all the money for him to spend. In that sense, it is right to say you walk out of that relationship.
Yes, I mean, don't continue with it. Don't continue with it. That is why I say that
Pastor, people say money is not everything.
money is not everything. I have said it here, that money is not everything. But you see, I said money is part of your life.
It's part of your life.
Okay? Now, let me take opportunity to explain that. The time you spend at the workplace, it's not just the time, as in clock time. You are spending your energy. You are spending your intellect, your soul is being spent. Your energy, your physical energy is being spent. Now, it is that part of your being that God has given you, which you are spending. That is what is converted into currency and compensated you with. Okay? So, when you are being paid at the end of the month, if you are in salaried employment, what you are being given is your life that you have spent for your employer, that he is giving back to you in monetary terms. So if you don't spend that part of your life that has been given to you in monetary terms, you are wasting your life.
You are wasting
your life. If you waste your money, recognize it is your life you are wasting. Because the money you earn is your life spent. Let me say that again. The money you earn
is your life.
Is actually your life spent. And so if you earn that money and you spend it anyhow, you are actually wasting your life. Spend that money wisely.
I saw somewhere that says, it said, if a man earns, say, 1,000 cedis, and he gives you 100 cedis, bear in mind that he woke up 2 days, about 2 or 3 days in his life, and went to work just for you. And in the sense where someone earns 10,000 cedis or say 100,000 cedis and gives you 1,000, at the end of the day, the person probably has given you a day's worth. So, and sometimes you don't look at how voluminous or how huge the amount is, but it's the intent that comes with what the person is coming in with. Because if he who has little and gives you, that's the same.
When he gets much,
he
will share that also with you.
Also with you. Pastor, thank you so much. The issue about joint accounts. You keep hearing it. As of me, I don't have a joint account with my husband. Someone says, "Oh, it doesn't matter. The money is for both of us. So why don't you put it together?" Pastor, what's your advice?
Yes and no. You can have a joint account and you can have separate accounts. It's a decision the two of you will have to make. But you see, you must make the decision on the foundation of trust. Every relationship is built on trust. Okay? If the person, your potential spouse, cannot trust you with his or her money, when you ask for a joint account, he or she will say no. Because in a joint account, we both have equal access. Now that we have ATM cards, you have a copy, I have a copy. And we put all our money in the account. And then a week after we deposited the money, before I know, you've gone to take the money and spent it on other things I'm not aware of. Okay? So you go into a joint account based on the extent of trust that you have. Trust is built on relationship and transparency. Okay? Transparency. If you don't have money, let your partner know
that you don't have
that
money.
I don't have money. Don't keep the money and say I don't have
Have
money.
money.
And then tomorrow,
I'll
God
find out
exposes you
that you have money
that you have money. And then you have to tell lies
to cover up.
cover up for the money you had. Now, immediately that happens, trust
Goes
will
down.
start going down, being eroded. Okay? Have the money. Let him know that you have money. But use your head. Use your head. If the money...
Pastor, the use your head part is what...
Debbie, you see...
Because at the end of the day, if I'm supposed to be transparent, but
Yes.
I'm supposed to be transparent, I'm still supposed to use my head.
Yes. You are transparent doesn't mean give it out. Okay? Give it out. You see, it is the heart and mind thing. The heart and mind. When people are using only their hearts and they don't use their minds, their head, that is where their transparency means he must give it out. You can let the person know, like I can let my wife know that I have 10,000 Ghana cedis. But that 10,000 Ghana cedis, 9,000 is budgeted for the house we want to build, for the plot we are buying. It is only 1,000 we can spend. Now, with that decision, I make sure we sit and calculate what we have to spend. No, trivial spending. That, this man should have worn it 2 times, so I have to buy a new one. Well, I have worn mine probably 25 times, and I'm still wearing it. You don't have to wear yours 25 times, but 2 times is too small. Maybe make it 10 times. I know women, you like to buy quite often. But let's measure it. Transparent doesn't mean it must be spent.
Pastor, doesn't say if we do that, doesn't it mean that even when I have to buy a sachet of water, it means it's calculated for?
Oh, you make room.
Everything, because at the end of the day, everything is calculated for. There's pen, there's book.
Oh, yes.
Everything we are doing.
No.
So at the end of the day, what takes the... What's the fun in that? In making my money and then spending some?
Oh, you have to spend some. But you see, you don't spend some just for you and for your individual benefit. I know there are a lot of, and you are saying that from the woman's perspective. I know there are a lot of women out there who think they must have their space. Oh, yes, you must have your space. But don't have it to the detriment of the family and the marriage. Okay? A very sensible, reasonable man will recognize that he must give you space. And I don't say this lightly. Anybody who knows of Mami can check with her. I can give you space. I know we are 2 individuals God has brought together as one. But don't have your individual space to the detriment of the union.
The shared space.
And the corporate, okay? The togetherness, the marriage. So yes, I'm not saying that if you have to go and buy salt, come and ask. If you have to go and buy sachet water, come and ask. No. Provision can be made. Out of the 1,000, and I'm using this hypothetically.
Yeah.
Out of the 1,000 that is left, you can have 200
for yourself. Whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do with it. But this shoe you spoke about, we have budgeted 100. The family, we have given 300 for that. For our utilities, we have provided for maybe another 300. You calculate it, but make provision for the individual that they can have some space to turn themselves around. Maybe you want to sit with some friends at a certain place after work as girls, and have a conversation. Once a while, that can happen. And you want to spend with your friends. But it shouldn't be the normal everyday thing that when you close from work, you are going to sit somewhere and you leave the family. It applies also to the man. It's not just about the woman. It applies also to the man. That it shouldn't be the case every day or every week you must go and hang out with friends and you left the family. No. Once a while maybe it will happen, but it shouldn't be the regular feature.
So pastor hasn't said whether you should have a joint account or not.
No.
But he has left that decision to you based
Exactly.
on the trust that exists between both partners. If you've
No,
been watching,
to interrupt you a bit, in my own family, we have separate account. In fact, we have a joint account, but it's a long while I went there. My wife may know what is in there, what the account details are. But we have separate account. But I know my wife's ATM as she knows mine. I can give my card to her, she can give hers to me. We don't work the joint account, not because she doesn't trust me or I don't trust her, okay? It is there, except that we've not had time. There's something there, but we've not really paid attention. If she's putting money there still, she knows. But I've not really paid attention to it, in that sense.
So viewers, there you have it. So it depends on you. If you've been watching us, this is the Apostolic Church Mount Zion Assembly, and I believe this evening we've all been educated, we've been enlightened. Please do well to follow us on our YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. Share with your friends. Invite them. If you've been following us for the past weeks, it has been a blessing to you. So why not share that blessing with others? If you have any questions, comments, something you want to be addressed, kindly drop them in the comment section and we'll do well to address them. Pastor, your final words before we leave, and it's issues about money, dear women. We like money, so it's been quite interesting discussing money.
Yeah, issues about money and a relationship. Like we said, when you are going into a relationship, look in financial terms before you leap. If you have to jump across the gutter, look and make sure
you build enough momentum to be able to
jump onto the other side so that you don't fall in. If the intention is to drop into a certain base, look and make sure the depth is what you can afford to jump into before you leap into it. Don't go blind. And like I said, when you are entering into a relationship with money, because of money also, don't go with your heart from the beginning. Keep your heart behind
you and go with your head.
And go with your head. When you are in there and as you are evolving into the relationship, then bring your heart across. I've also said that your money is your life. So the money you earn is your life spent. Your money you earn is your life spent. So when you earn that money, be careful how you spend it, because it is your life that you have in currency forms. I encourage people not to use money for its sake as the measure, because I earn more than this woman, I'm not going to marry her. She will just come and chop my money. Or because I earn more than this man, I don't think I should marry him because he will depend on my money. No. You never know what tomorrow holds. You never know what tomorrow holds. And if the man is a diligent, hardworking, sensible person, loving, not a lazy person who is looking for a woman to feed on, you can go in. If he's not a lazy person, he's diligent, he's visionary, he's hardworking, and he's very loving and caring. With that, you know where you are going to. You are there to help. May the Lord be your helper in such a relationship.
Amen.
Amen.
Pastor, God bless you so much. It's been great having you.
It's my privilege, and
Hannah. I've enjoyed myself, and I believe our viewers have also enjoyed themselves. Can two work unless they agree? At the end of the day, the money might go, the beauty will fade. But ask yourself that in that relationship, are you happy? Are you at peace? All these things are supposed to add up to make you happy and be at peace. God bless you so much for taking time off to watch us. And we hope you have learned a lot. As we said, follow us on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. Same time next week, we'll come your way. It's been great having you with us. This is the Apostolic Church, Mount Zion Assembly in the Adabaka district. And our pastor is Pastor Emmanuel Tete. See you same time next week. Let's enjoy the rest of our week.